My name is Clay Patrick McBride. I'm an artist and educator, and we're here at my show at the City Art Space downtown Rochester, New York. I've been working for the past few years in wet plate collodion, also known as tintype. I chose it because, I don't know, I guess it was like sometime in the mid 2000s when everything went digital in photography, and I kind of fell out of love with photography, and I've always been drawn to a more tactile approach to photography. And I was always intrigued by it, but it seemed like some mysterious black art I could never understand. So I asked for some instruction, and I got it from this kid, Joey Matty, and then I studied with Willie Osterman. And I'm drawn to it because I like seeing the image appear before my eyes. I like the black art of alchemy, and I do not respond well to pixels and X's and ones or zeros and ones or whatever the hell digital images are made out of. I work on location. I bring the darkroom on location. I make the pictures, they're like spells that you conjure, you know what I mean? They're like made on the spot. So I pour collodion on a piece of tin and I put it into some silver nitrate. It sits there for a few minutes where it becomes light sensitive. Throw it into a holder, bring it out, expose it to light. Believe it or not, it's very slow exposure, like 1 second, 4 seconds in bright daylight. Then quickly go back under my dark box, develop it, fix it, and it's ready for view. And it kind of happens just before your eyes. You can see the image appear, and I think that's the most mystical and intriguing part of the process is you actually see it form before your eyes, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like as if something is being created in your imagination, it just happens in reality, Yeah. My history is in like entertainment and music and celebrity photography, and I'm always kind of looking for freaky, interesting people, and the skate park had just been built in Rochester. It was kind of a big thing. There was like a buzz about it. It was a couple blocks from my house. I drove by it every day. And I was just kind of drawn to it like a moth to white light. Like it just was, there's not much going on here. And the skate park was going on. It was lit, like literally at night, people, hot summer nights. You heard the skateboards grinding and doing their thing as you drove by. And it just seemed to have a buzz about it. So I don't know, I wanted a project that was close to home, that I could walk to, that I could just practice the same way that the skateboarders practice and fall down and shit the bed and, practice with the same sort of dedication. There's a certain dedication to that. So I kind of showed up for a few years, set up my stuff in a little corner and was like as dedicated as they were. And, after being there and studying the people, I was really kind of blown away by how many different kinds of people were there and how it seemed to me a little bit more like New York City because sadly, I think in this area of Western New York, people are kind of in their little compartments. And here at the skate park, everybody was together. And it was a kind of beautiful, beautiful thing. It's like this word mass, I think about it. Like mass is mass, church. Like I think the skateboard's like a church where people come in mass and they actually like worship together. You know what I mean? Like there's this common bond and this like-mindedness of the people and the community that's really beautiful. So I don't know where else that happens for free. Like even the fact that there's a fence around the park bothers me. But the fact that people can get together like this and practice like this is really special. So like, yeah, I don't know where else that can happen, like secret punk rock shows in the subway tunnel, like does that still happen? I don't know. I feel like now more than anything, everyone's really spread out and like anything that can happen to bring people together is a beautiful thing, I think skateboarders are seen as vandals and vagrants. And really how I'm seeing them is heroic athletes who are dedicated and who might not be understood by the rest of the world, but are understood and embraced by this community. So what I hope someone looking at this picture would see is the beauty in everyone and maybe the beauty in someone sort of unexpected and the sort of grace, power, and how regal even a punk rock person could look. Yeah, my favorite memory is that picture with Scar. Scar was creating a mural for wall therapy, just about 50 yards from where I was painting. And I said, hey, I'd like to, take a picture of you. And they're like, awesome. And they're like, I just had this top surgery, and they ripped off their shirt. And there they were with their scars. And I think what was so incredible is that I know that for a fact they felt a little uncomfortable, but there's still like a safe enough space in that skate community to be seen that way and to be accepted that way. So I think that was my favorite moment. And my other favorite moments was when the skaters came here and they felt seen. And when the people who built the park came here and realized, they didn't build a park, they built like a church for people to go and worship. When the community came here and really saw maybe from like a bird's eye perspective of this whole thing that was happening, that was really special to me. One thing that's beautiful in skateboarding is the love of photography and how so many things in skateboarding are documented. So there's a real kinship between skateboarding and the photograph. And so many photo enthusiasts, kids that shoot film, young people that are considering going to school for photography. So yeah, there's a lot of passionate conversations about the craft itself. And I think I definitely, turned some people on to it. I guess what I'm really excited about is being taught this. And now I'm in a position where I'm going to start teaching a class with 6 students in the spring. And I will be, turning people onto this process. And hopefully it will take them on a beautiful ride the way it took me on a ride. I think the camera photography is a journey. I always say the camera's like a compass to me. It's always just leading me somewhere, leading me to people, to situations, to communities. And, now what's so beautiful is I've had all this experience and I can like pass it on, I guess the thing in closing I'll say is for a long time I burned the candle at both ends, and I even got a tattoo somewhere of a candle burning at both ends somewhere. And I realized I can like put out one of the ends of the candle and light some candles,